In this video, I'm going to be going over a little bit of my life story and why I do what I do and why I create content. Well, see, I started out at a very young age and I was just really artistic. And I remember I had an aunt, she's from Germany, and she used to come visit us from like Paris. She lived in Paris, and she used to come visit. I just always had a good vibe from her, man. Like, this was like one of my favorite people in the world, my Aunt Renee. She would help me draw, and she would just really like give me a boost and give me motivation and show me that I could do this, you know. But I was at such a young age, I was maybe like 5 or 6, that I never thought too much of it. And as the years went on, I was just real creative. I just loved building stuff. One of my favorite toys growing up was the Lincoln Logs. I was very creative, but my creativity would get me in trouble. Any toys that I want, I would steal. Any clothes that I wanted, I would steal. I started hanging with the wrong crowds, you know, and it introduced me into my addiction. I started smoking weed first, and I started drinking, and then before you know it, I was mixing pills in with it, and then before you know it, I was full-blown out addict, shooting up. I've been through the worst, man. Like, my arms were so torn up, dead veins, bruises, like scars. I don't ever want to relive that. I wasn't clean yet, but I started to clean myself up, and eventually I met my daughter's mom, and we got together, and from there we became homeless, behind buildings. We slept in tents, in the woods. We slept everywhere, man, people's floors, and it was just horrible. I ended up getting her pregnant, and then I lost my son. We had the full pregnancy, a 9-month pregnancy. We go to the hospital on the delivery day, and my son is stillborn. That's why I go by Zane, because my son's name is Zane, rest in peace. Right before we went to the hospital, we had found a place to sleep. We found a place to stay for the last month of the pregnancy. And, you know, as soon as we lost our son, we started fighting a lot, and things got bad, man. We ended up getting kicked out of there, and we became homeless for probably another year or so. And then finally I got the opportunity to get a house. Got off the streets, got into the house, got me a job, started creating music, and yeah, man, like, things started to pick up. So I started working for a while, and then I got my tax money after working for about 6-7 months, and I invested it all in a little studio. It was the first studio I ever had. I got the computer, I got a microphone, I got insulation for the walls, like acoustic paneling, lighting, and everything, because I was just going after my dreams. I was working all day, 9-10 hours a day. I would come home. So I'm going like 12 hours just taking buses, and I would walk sometimes. And then, you know, I would come home, I would eat, and I'd go up in the studio and make music. And then before I went to sleep, I would spend time with my daughter. I made sure an hour or two before I went to sleep, I'd spend time with my daughter, and this was leaving me like, sometimes I wouldn't even get sleep, man. I'd get like an hour or two of sleep. And eventually we just grew apart, man. She moved out. I lost my job because I felt like the world was over because my daughter was taken from me. I sold my studio, and I got really sick. And in getting sick was the greatest thing that ever happened, because before that I was just like an aspiring musician, a rapper. But since I sold all that, I kind of gave up on the music, and then I got sick. And when I got sick, I started creating content because I couldn't work anymore. I was too sick for that. I had no money. I was about to lose my place. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna document this. And then 2020 hit, and that kind of gave us a break. And while everybody was getting sick, it seemed like I was getting healthier. This is where I found my passion for filmmaking. I fell in love with it, the editing, everything, man. Helping people, speaking to people, seeing people comment on my videos that didn't know me. And I found that most people that showed me love were people that didn't know me. It's hard to see potential and talent in somebody that you knew your whole life, and I understand that. So I don't get mad at people that don't support me. I understand. But this is everything to me, man. It's like the devil testing me. But through this all, God has always had my back. And I'm thankful for that. And through all of this, I found my love for filmmaking, making content, editing, making thumbnails, just art, helping people. That's what my channel is about, helping people, showing y'all how I do everything I do. I just had a talent and something burning inside me my whole life, and I went after it. If you do nothing else today, create something. I don't care if it's a post, a story, a picture, a video. Create something. Go knock one thing out a day and you're going to accomplish a lot in a year's time, I promise you. Sometimes you're going to get put in the worst situations because God wants to bring the best out of you. God only puts the strongest soldiers through the most. So if you feel like you're going through everything and that you can't handle it, just know you're meant for something. And you got a guardian angel watching you. Go out and create something. There's 1111 vids. So make sure you watch vids. Make it yourself. You do that, you ain't gotta pay no one else. The boy XANE, man.